Good evening. I'm Tina Tasako with Cannabis X America, and we are here for the 7 Diamond Productions Nexus Mansion Party. Yeah. And tonight it is Steph night, right?
Yeah.
It is NugJewelz night.
Yeah, well, we're doing a content creation here. We've got some action in the pool going on. We've got people at the table over here smoking. So, yeah, it's been a great time. We had photographers here from 5 to 8 who were taking photos, and we'll have that information up on Instagram real soon.
I'm so glad we could jump on. We've been trying to jump on for a couple weeks now.
Several more than a couple.
Yeah, right. This is the.
He's been trying to hunt me down for a while now.
Yeah. So this is the second Diamond Nexus event that has been put on at a mansion, and this one's a little bit further on the outskirts of Scottsdale.
It's a hike, yeah.
But we're gonna not talk about where we're at, right? No. But anyway, the first time we met, I think, was at the Arizona Cannabis Music Awards. But we had seen each other out, but we never had really talked or anything. Mm-hmm. And then we met, and then it was kind of like we knew all the same people.
Yeah.
Which is not hard to do in our industry. Being in the same. We're going to cross over and meet the same people. But you've been in the industry for a long time. You started the company, Nug Jewelz. Mm-hmm. When did you start Nug Jewelz?
Well, I moved to the Arizona area. I'm going to back up just a little bit before that. In January of 2018, and I started working in the industry because one of the reasons that I moved to Arizona was for access to legal medical marijuana.
Okay. Where'd you come from?
Wisconsin.
Oh,
Midwest girl.
Oh, they've got a big charter right now to get medical approved right now, and they're going through tribes. Keep going.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, it's not going to probably go very far because the alcohol is culture out there. I mean, the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, I was a bartender out there, so yeah, it's just culture out there to drink, and so the Tavern Association is fighting hard to not have cannabis legal there. Unfortunately, Wisconsin is missing out on a huge amount of taxes. They're going to Michigan. They're going to Minnesota. They're going to Illinois. So hopefully one of these days Wisconsin will smarten up. And but what's interesting is July 26th, I'm actually going to the Wisconsin Cannabis Expo. Even it being illegal there, they're still having an expo. So I think that's really cool. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Is it focused on medical?
I'm not really quite sure. I think it's just getting it legalized as a whole.
Okay.
So yeah, but I started NugJewelz. I started working as a bud tender at Nirvana dispensaries back in 2018. I started this, I want to say summer of 2019. I got my LLC December of 2019. So pre-COVID, and then COVID hit. So. Yes. So it's funny you mentioned that I met you at the Arizona Cannabis Awards, but actually one of my biggest events that I did was, we were just talking about it not too long ago, was the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards. That was back in 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the opportunities that came along with, not being afraid of the COVID and going out there and networking and meeting people. That was a huge impact in my business.
So that's a great show, and actually I did that show. I've only done that show one time, and we're going to do it again in September. Are you going to be there in September?
October is the Arizona one. I'm going to be going out to Oklahoma next week for the Oklahoma Cannabis Awards, and so we kind of go on tour. Wherever Sheldon goes, we go. And if you don't know Sheldon Cooper, I highly recommend meeting him. He's an amazing human.
Yeah, Sheldon Cooper, we always need to give him a huge shout out because this is a guy that lives in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I think both of us have known him for a number of years, and I think you know him better than I do, but I'm getting to know him a little bit better. And he is like the ultimate concert promoter. Like, the guy will be like, oh, yeah, I just put on a show in the Philippines, and there was 39,000 people there. I'm like, what? You did what? I'm like, how are there 39,000 people there?
You know what has been amazing is, getting to meet some of the artists, behind the scenes. I've smoked with, Mike Jones. We smoked with Little Xan. A lot of different artists that have been, out that way and affiliated with the show. So it's a great show. I highly recommend everyone getting involved with them. Yeah.
Well, but let's go back to your jewelry for a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started it in 2017, right?
2019.
In 2019, and then in 2021, when we were all in the pandemic, did you continue to make
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. We doubled down during the pandemic. We did a lot of giveaways online. We've built up, our following that way. A lot of longtime supporters. If you look at, half of them have been following me for the first year or two, and it's super amazing to hear. And they show me hey, I got this bracelet from you 4 years ago, and I'm still wearing it. Or, look at these earrings I got from the last time I saw your booth. So it's really cool to see how much joy that the jewelry does bring to people, especially when you tell them yo, there is recycled cannabis in each product. The only one that doesn't right now is that we do have a new line with a collaboration with another artist out of Albuquerque, New York 47, and he does little mini glass pendants, so you can actually have a functional pendant. That's the only line of jewelry that doesn't have the recycled cannabis in it, but you can put your own in there and call it a day.
Interesting. We'll talk about that one offline also, because we're getting ready to head to New Mexico for something. But I wanted to ask you got into Planet 13 with NugJewelz.
Yeah, so
in Planet 13, just for the viewers, it's the largest dispensary in the world. It's in Las Vegas. It's the one with the big sphere right out front. Not that sphere. There's another sphere.
The red sphere.
It's a little bit smaller, but Planet 13 is a huge dispensary just right off the strip. It's right down the street from Wynn, just right off the Las Vegas Strip. And,
so we're actually in Stitched and Stuff, which is in a boutique shop inside Planet 13. So right when you walk in Planet 13, you get through the registration area, you go to the left, and there's a little store right there. It's got soda pop, merch, things like that, and of course you can get your NugJewelz in there as well.
Excellent. That is so good to know. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
They actually have a lounge now too, so
yeah, they do.
Hopefully they'll expand us over there.
Yeah, Dazed is their lounge. It's real crazy. You walk into it's an old phone booth, like a phone booth that you see in London. And you go in there, and then phew, and then you're inside the lounge, and off you go to whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but,
there was an hour and a half wait, so I do recommend if you're gonna, and this is maybe when they first opened, but yeah, an hour and a half wait. So make your reservation early.
I'm actually really glad to hear that.
Yeah,
'cause, yeah, that's some good news. So this is absolutely gorgeous, and I love that you're doing this. But now, so backing up a little bit. Okay, so you are hitting the road. You're hitting all of these cannabis award shows. Will you be bringing your NugJewelz with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we've got a team of 6 basically that help us out. A lot of it's behind the scenes. So we've got most of them have been with me since almost the beginning. Yeah.
So it is kind of a. I hear that at a lot of these music festivals that everybody is, they're exchanging beads, and it's a culture, it's a whole thing now, and whether you're Gen X or Gen Z or all of the different names.
Well, one thing when I first started this that got pointed out to me, they're like, you have people every demographic wearing your jewelry. They're like, you could be someone in their 60s, it could be an 18-year-old kid, and they're all wearing different lines of it, but we all have one thing in common. Actually, we have more than one thing in common. You know what I mean?
It's true. Well, the cannabis industry doesn't discriminate with age. Especially we go out to all these festivals, and there's 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and 70-year-olds. We don't discriminate, and we all hang out together, and it's just kind of like we hang out together,
right?
Everybody's in for, of course everybody has their pals and stuff, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, everyone's super kind, everybody's super
respectful,
nice. Yeah, absolutely.
And the 20 and 30-year-old guys, they're, hey ma'am, yes ma'am, or miss, or ma'am, or whatever they might want to say.
Makes me feel old when people call me ma'am, but yeah.
Yeah, you want to go, it's miss, it's always miss, right?
Hear that?
But,
it's always miss.
It's always miss. I think they train that in Nordstrom's. That's one of their
sales tactic.
It's one of their SOPs that you have to call, even if she's 88, you have to call her miss. I do believe that's one of their true procedures.
Miss, would you like some Lancome?
Yeah, right. Miss, would you like some tea?
Exactly.
Miss, would you like a chair? Yeah. You're 88. No, anyway. But yeah, it doesn't discriminate, and we're all there because we love the plant.
Correct.
And a lot of the people are medical patients and so forth. But you're right. No, you're right. It is. There's no discrimination for age. It's just everybody's there for the love of music, for the love of the plant, and for, for the love of...
As hard as this industry is, I wouldn't want to be in any other. Yeah.
All right, so reel off where you're going. You guys are starting in Oklahoma next week. You're going to the Oklahoma Cannabis Music Awards Festival with Sheldon Cooper.
Yes, and
Hello,
there's also a
Sheldon
biker
Cooper.
rally
Peace
going
to
on.
Sheldon Cooper.
And there's a biker rally going on, so
That's
it's going to get really wild up in there, but we're going to have a blast, yeah.
Okay.
So then after...
people camping too?
Yeah, it's a whole camp out.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then...
Then where are you heading?
Well, I'm going to head into Albuquerque first, then we're going to Oklahoma, then back to Albuquerque, and then back to Phoenix, right? And then I'm going to be flying out to Chicago end of July, and then end of August I'll be flying home from Milwaukee. So, Wisconsin is my hometown. Like I said, they're having the expo. I'm going to go out there. There's also another event in Marengo, Illinois on August 2nd. They're going to have like the Dead Circus, City Circus come out and do a huge event there with over like 30 different vendors. So that's going to be a huge deal if you're in Marengo, Illinois area, definitely come on down. I think there's just a few tickets left. $35 entry fee, so very reasonable.
Is that anywhere near Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
They're bringing in the Dead City Circus, which is maybe creepy carnival type thing. Oh. Be a good way to explain it. Exactly.
Okay.
So, so that's going to be there, and there's going to be different vendors, different activities, different events. We'll see what Illinois has to bring. So we're excited to be there. So thank you to the Glass Station for bringing us there.
Are they mixing it with cannabis? It's also a canna event?
Yeah, it's a canna event. So,
okay.
yeah, it's an online Facebook group. And, they're really cool people. And like I said, I'm from the area, so they were happy to have me and see what we're doing out here in the West Coast.
I do know that Illinois is one of those states that is really, I hear they're doing a lot of really good events.
Yeah.
Arizona's busting out really good events. Illinois busts out good events. California does some really good events.
Right.
But
Vegas.
Illinois, for whatever reason, they have a lot of, they do a lot of edibles, and they have bakeries and baked goods, and, their dispensaries, or they've got these bakeries that they're able to do a lot of
It's crazy how the
goods.
laws across state line are so different.
That's true.
One of the things you may not know about me is I actually went out to New Mexico and did some consulting work and opened up a dispensary out there.
Okay.
So yeah, I know the whole
No,
laws
I love
of New
this.
Mexico,
Yeah.
and then working here, I know a lot of the laws in Arizona. Granted, they've changed since rec, but pretty much the same.
What year did you open that dispensary in New Mexico?
2023.
Okay, so it's very new. What was something unique there that was different from like an Arizona law?
Well, in the state of New Mexico, and I'm not sure how many people are in the state of New Mexico, but at least a tenth of what's here, correct? Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Safe to
small
say.
state.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They maybe have. I'm going to guess that they're probably at 3.5 million for the whole state.
Right.
Versus, we're over at 6 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, just 6 million in this metropolitan area.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
yeah,
it's significantly less, and they have 1,006 dispensaries. The last time I checked, which was 2 days ago, 1,006 dispensaries for like 1/10 the amount of people that we have in this state here.
Wow.
Okay. There's lots of opportunity. There's lots more mom and pop shops. You don't need a corporate license to open up a dispensary. Yeah.
How fascinating.
So, yeah, $14,000, you can
fascinating.
open up a vice license in the state of New Mexico.
Okay.
If anyone wants to do it, you're paying me, I'll go out there and do it. Let's go.
That's really fascinating.
And, brands, So, yeah, whereas in Arizona, you and I couldn't just go and open a dispensary.
No, heck no.
It's very different.
$10 million or whatever that license
26
is.
million, yeah.
It's a mass. It's just a giant.
And you can rent
amount.
it, but then, that's kind of a losing game, too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's very different out there in that sense. New Mexico is very support local. They're very, I love New Mexico. I actually got a Zia tattoo on my arm representing the 2 years that I was out there. I actually just came back to Phoenix in January, so.
It is the land of enchantment.
It is beautiful.
It is. It is truly a beautiful place, and actually, we have the opportunity to go there soon, and we're looking forward to it. But I do want to ask you one question before we wrap up about New Mexico, because now with the Senate Bill 3 in Texas potentially happening.
You want to know what I say about that?
I think they're going to get that rush again back to New Mexico with everybody buying in New Mexico again.
Well,
and I think
Sunland
it's going to
Park
help.
is a huge place. Chaparral is a huge place. By the way, you can find our products in High Valley Dispensary in Chaparral, New Mexico. You can find us in, the Field of Dreams in Sunland Park, New Mexico. So our products are right along the border. They call it Texas money. Texas money comes over.
Okay.
Yeah. One day I'll tell you about when I was in one of the dispensaries. I won't name who, but they lined up all of their cash all over the floor, right? Spraying with air freshener. Because the bank denied it because it smelled like cannabis. This is the world we're living in. So it's getting interesting, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of funny, but we met a man at a conference, and he wants to take a little town right down there in the border of New Mexico. He wants to take the whole town to digital currency. We're talking Bitcoin and crypto.
Yeah.
Now there's dispensaries in that town. What do you think about that?
I mean, as a entrepreneur, I will, if you want, however you want to pay me, I'll take your money. So
You
if you want to
betcha.
pay me in Bitcoin,
Well,
let's
sure,
go.
You betcha. It sure would alleviate, a lot of cash and stuff laying around on the floor.
Once it becomes federal, I think that banking law will then, go into effect. Right now, there are banking, but the regulations on it are just extremely difficult. These dispensaries are paying $750 a month just to have a bank account, plus a percentage of all their deposits. So it is absolutely asinine, the amount of fees. And, it's driving black market, too. I mean, black market is alive out in New Mexico just as well as it is here in the Arizona.
For sure.
So that's never going to go away. Don't fight
sure.
it. It's just... hope that it's getting tested.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would love for us to jump back on camera again after you get back from New Mexico and your travels, and after I get back from New Mexico, and let's compare notes.
All right.
Because I think we're going to have some fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, but have some great journeys
Well,
for
if
sure.
you need any recommendations on any lounges to stop at while you're in Albuquerque, I definitely recommend Thrive Lounge, which is on more of the west side, and then the O
Shout out
Vibe.
to Thrive.
Thrive
Yeah.
is great. They had my going away party when I left there,
Oh,
so that was
shout
amazing.
out to Thrive.
Yeah.
That is so great. Okay.
And then the Vibe Lounge and Enchanted Botanicals. All of those are great lounges, so I highly recommend going there.
Great.
And then, they do have Chiba Huts down there, too.
Chiba Huts. Okay.
And the guy who I'm now doing my glass pendants with, he's out of Albuquerque, too. His name is Neor.47 on Instagram. But he has a tattoo shop on Central called Saks. So if you go in there, you can get some amazing tattoo work done, too. Sorry, plug.
My God.
Plug for the homie.
Well, that is quite okay from an entrepreneur, Stephanie. That's for sure.
They just did mine.
Quite
It's like the
okay.
cleanest tattoo
Yeah.
that I've ever gotten. So shout out to Toothless Jay. He was one of the tops artists for the Garbage Pail Kids, actually. The guy who tattooed my arm.
That's
Highly
amazing.
recommend him. Go to Saks on Central in Albuquerque.
Well, I love the work that you're doing in the industry, and I love the advocacy that you're doing, and we all have to just keep it up. We got to just keep talking to as many people as we can, and just keep sharing information. And and that person can help you, or why that person over there is working on that, and that person over there is working on that, and because
we're all going through our journeys,
We are.
It's one step at a time. Sometimes it's 3 steps back, and sometimes it's a cha-cha. But baby, we doing it.
Indeed. So Stephanie, for sure, we'll put up your information here for the viewers.
Follow us at Nug Jewelz.
Yeah, definitely. Nug Jewelz, absolutely. She knows a lot of people. She's got great following, and we're going to follow her and all the great things that she's doing and all the travels that Stephanie's doing. And there's going to be more to follow after this for sure. But thanks for jumping on with us for sure.
Thanks, Tina. I appreciate you and Eric very much.
So we will continue on here at 7 Diamond Productions, Nexus Mansion Party. Tina Tasaka, Cannabis X America.